This is another movie lingo discussion. I'm Eddie Lingo.
I'm Kendall.
I'm Alyssa Jansen.
I'm Iris.
And I'm Ant-Man.
And today we are going to discuss Marvel's Ant-Man. Please, Ant-Man, sir, could you tell us what your movie was about?
Yeah, I got this. So my story involves myself. Okay, I can't keep going with this. I can't do first and third person. So Ant-Man is the story of Scott Lang, a convict who recently got out of prison, who is one of the best thieves around. He's a burglar. He breaks in. He almost like a Robin Hood mentality. He stole from the rich that were using their wealth poorly and distributed it to the employees of companies. And he gets contacted by Dr. Hank Pym to basically take on the Ant-Man suit and break into Cross facilities and Hank Pym's old lab and destroy the Yellow Jacket suit that a man named Darren Cross has created, because he does not want Darren Cross to have access to this technology. The movie focuses on Scott's journey into becoming Ant-Man, and it also focuses on his relationship with his daughter, who is currently with his mom because he's a convict. He doesn't get to see her that much. So we get a little bit of Ant-Man's struggle as Ant-Man and his struggle as Scott Lang.
Awesome. So diving right in, I thought this movie was great. Me not being a big Ant-Man follower, but I know of his existence and I know of his importance to the Avengers. I really enjoyed the movie, so I want to start with you, Kendall. Get your thoughts. How did you feel about the movie?
I thought it was great. I'm not a big Ant-Man follower also. I know only of like the comics. Of course, when the movie was coming out, I started to research him, which I do with every Marvel movie that comes out.
Very smart.
But I thought it really portrayed the character very well. The story was great. The pacing was great. The movie was really enjoyable overall.
Awesome. And how about you, Alyssa? How'd you feel about it?
I really liked it. I didn't know much about Ant-Man. I didn't know anything about Ant-Man. But I definitely liked it. It was different than the other Marvel movies, I feel like, and I enjoyed it a lot more. I think it was funnier than most of the ones have been.
Yeah, I think that was one of the good things.
Yeah, and I really liked it.
Paul Rudd on there and him.
Yeah, I enjoyed Paul Rudd as Ant-Man.
He also got writer's credit, so I'm sure he dressed it up so it can be more comedic, more his style.
Yeah.
Iris, how'd you feel about the Ant-Man movie?
I really enjoyed it. I don't know that much about Ant-Man. I know a few little like basic, knowledge about the whole Ant-Man story, but I was a little concerned when I saw in the trailers that it was Paul Rudd, because I'm more into the serious, when it comes to Marvel movies.
Right.
I like it to be serious, but I think it was actually very well written. Excuse me. And I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Awesome. I know I don't need to ask you, sir, but just please let us know, how did you feel about the Ant-Man movie?
I loved every part of this movie, honestly. At first, I will say that I was a little concerned with Paul Rudd, but Scott Lang's character isn't the Hank Pym Ant-Man. Scott Lang is a bit of a jokester, and he's kind of a laid-back type of guy. And in fact, in the comic series, he breaks into Tony Stark's lab to prove to him that his security force needs to be upgraded so that he can get that job.
Oh, nice.
He's that kind of like cocky, funny dad type of humor. And I think this movie was absolutely fantastic, and in my opinion, probably one of the best Marvel movies to date.
I have to agree with you. But let's talk about that for a moment. Yes, I'm going to admit it. I'm probably going to lose a follower or two. I had no idea that there was more than one Ant-Man throughout the years. I've always just known of
I
Pym.
believe there's a total of 3 at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So when I was watching the trailer, I tried to stay away from anything. I know you say you research when it's coming. For me, I try to stay away from any information because I want to be pleasantly surprised, or I don't want something to give me a bad feeling. I go in with negativity. So once I knew that Michael Douglas playing Pym was passing on and basically bringing Scott Lang in, I had no idea that was a character. Scott Lang was a character in the comics. I was like, oh, this is not what I expected. So it was different for me, not knowing. And I thought it was done very well. I know it's probably not done exactly like the comic books, but I thought that was really cool. And now that I'm hearing that Scott Lang, and then there's the third one,
Eric O'Grady.
Yeah,
I believe Eric is in between. In the comics, Hank was the first one, and then it was Eric. and then Scott is the current Ant-Man.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know much about Eric. I know
they kind of skipped over him. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're not important.
Okay.
I know Hank Pym started off as Ant-Man, and Hank Pym's Ant-Man was a very serious justice kind of guy, almost like not a very strong sense of morality like Captain America.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know enough about Eric, and I'm not going to get shouted in the comments by people who are claiming that, oh, that's not him. But Scott's character was very Paul Rudd-esque,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, he's in Paul Rudd's movies, he's always that goofy type of humor, and the Ant-Man that Scott Lang plays in the comics, he's cracking jokes and stuff. Like, he's a jokester.
So we I guess the lesson to be learned here is we should trust Marvel when they start casting.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
Pleasantly surprised.
No? No?
Well, let's not get too...
Because they didn't cast you, is that what it was?
Well, I could have been Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah. You still can be. You know, something may happen to that guy on set. Anyway, so...
Yeah, something might happen to me. I'm going to be ashamed.
Hopefully not. I don't want to... Damn, everybody's going to come... We're going to get
If something
famous
happens to him,
we're going
we're
to be famous for the
screwed.
wrong reasons. Yeah.
We'll be the first suspects. Like,
Yeah.
you're the
Oh
one
my-
that said it first.
I know. Oh, my God. So, I'm going to jump back across. Uh,
Pond.
Yes. Kendall, how did you feel about... well, first, were you knowledgeable about the different Ant-Man characters, and how did you feel about Paul Rudd playing it?
Well, like I said before, at first I didn't know really anything. I knew there was an Ant-Man. He shrunk. That was pretty much it. But after I started researching it, I started seeing that there was 3 Ant-Men. Scott Lang was the current one and everything. And when they cast Paul Rudd, at first I was a little bit nervous because, you know, he's known for doing all these comedies. You can't really picture him as a superhero, and especially at the time he didn't have the superhero body.
Yeah.
But
None of us do at the time.
Sexy for this one.
He got that Marvel
Use the word
treatment.
sexy, all right.
He got the Marvel abs.
Yeah.
But
Good job, Paul.
yeah.
He got the Marvel abs,
abs.
and she's like giving him the thumbs up for that. So then let's go to that topic as well, because most things that are successful for women who aren't fans, women who are fans of comic, and women who aren't fans but are still interested to see it. The 2 things that always has to be in your casting, you know, you have to get a draw that guys are going to believe can pull it off and be entertaining, and then you also have to get somebody that has some level of appeal, whether it's, you know, you're just attracted to their humor, but also physically, you know, they want to try and draw you in. Right? So let's talk about the sex appeal of this movie. How did you feel about Paul Rudd? Did you think he brought it? Did he attract you with his Marvel abs? Yeah,
Definitely.
you think he was a sexy Ant-Man?
Yep. I love Paul Rudd. I've liked Paul Rudd since I saw him when I was little and Clueless.
That's when I go to. Okay, not too young. We want to go scare people about what you were thinking about at the young age, but it's just like I can't help it.
I don't know how young I was, but I saw Clueless. That was the first time I ever saw Paul Rudd in a movie, and I've loved him ever since.
Right.
And so seeing him in this movie, and like how, like you said, like his body was different, and then they had like that one scene where like they just like kind of showed him
Yeah, there was
shirtless.
only one.
It was one scene, but it was the best scene of the entire movie.
Oh wow, of the
My
entire
favorite
movie.
Scene. It was my favorite scene.
That's it. All right, we'll get to that a little later. And so you've already thrown out the S word twice, sexy. So you were very pleased with Paul Rudd.
Yes, I think he did a really good job with the way he built his physique for this movie. Because, I mean, I've never thought he's an ugly man. I think he's, you know, good looking for the goofy,
He's
comical.
very average.
Yeah,
He's an average-looking guy.
Average Joe, you know, and then,
Average
you know.
Paul.
And then, I mean, his face is still average Joe to me. No offense, Paul. So sorry. But from the neck down, I was like, look at you.
It works.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. I like that they gave just a little taste. You know,
Right.
a little taste of the body.
Just
You
a
know.
little bit.
So I mean, I think that was enough.
That was
all
enough?
you need to know is that underneath it looks good. So that's all.
It's believable.
It's believable.
All right, so we want to continue the thought process or get a reaction to the level of sexy in the movie. Cody, I want to start with you, sir.
All right, so let me start this off by saying that in a lot of different movie lingo discussions, I have discussed the attractiveness of women and the celebrities and how I feel about them. And yes, I have mentioned from some characters from San Andreas or Terminator as being attractive, but there's one person in this world that dates back to the beginning of Lost, a show that I watched religiously.
A TV show.
A
You
TV
watched
show.
a TV show?
Yeah, back when I watched TV.
Okay,
yeah.
because I was like, you say you don't watch TV.
I am a die-hard Lost fan. I've seen the entire show 7 times now. I've watched it multiple times. And one of my favorite actresses ever in the history of the world would be Evangeline Lilly. I think, Kate from Lost.
From Lost.
I think she is beautiful. She's okay. Yep. So
The table's elevating on that side.
not only that, but then they take this beautiful goddess and they put her in these nerdy movies as these nerdy characters. She was Tariel in the Hobbit movies. She played a beautiful, badass elf chick.
She was.
And then they made her Wasp, and I could not have been happier. I think the bob haircut really works for her. She plays a serious kind of character. In the comics, Wasp, beside Ant-Man, was a little bit more of the looser. She was the original Hank Pym Ant-Man. I always felt he was very like a strong sense of morality, and Wasp was the lighter side of that. And I think it's interesting that, in my opinion, now they've reversed the roles, where you have Scott Lang being a very laid-back type of Ant-Man, and Hope Pym being very serious and wanting to get the job done. And then there's the scene where she's helping him fight, and she's like in yoga pants and a tight tank top, and she's got some biceps. You
took time to look at the biceps? Huh?
Yeah, I looked at everything.
Okay.
I loved her in this movie. I loved this movie in general, but Evangeline Lilly played a fantastic Wasp, and I cannot wait to see her actually take the costume that they showed in the post-credit scene. Because they took one of my favorite actresses and one of my favorite models and women in this world, and they made her a superhero, and that was just like, it's done. Good luck, Marvel. I'm sold. No matter all bad shit you do, I will be a fan.
You just threw your money at the screen.
Basically, yeah.
It's like, take my money now.
Basically.
You just threw your wallet at the screen. Well, I didn't ask you, Kendall. Is there any level of sex appeal to you in the movie? Any characters that?
Well, yeah, definitely Wasp.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't put it into words like he did.
Well, I mean,
She's not even Wasp in this movie.
Yeah, she's not
But
Wasp.
yeah, right. But yeah.
But yeah, definitely the build up for her. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gives you that seriousness, that sexy seriousness.
Yeah.
You know, that she takes care of business. And yeah.
Well, I'm probably gonna be hated for this one, but
I'll hit you. You watch what you say, Eddie.
I was pretty soft through the whole movie. Sorry, she didn't do it for me. She's not.
I wasn't like raging through the whole movie. I find her gorgeous. I'm not.
I didn't find her gorgeous either. You know what? I saw an older version of her, which is literally what she is. She's older than she was in Lost, and that's all I kept saying is, I can see the age on her. So.
This will be my last movie Lingo discussion.
So it was, but sadly, it may disappoint people, but I wasn't pretty impressed with the Marvel apps. How about that? So there you go.
Well, if I could just interject,
please.
If I had to compare the women of this movie, well, Paul Rudd's character is ex-wife. I mean, I love her. I think she's an amazing actress.
She's cute.
But
no,
you don't find. I think she's a cutie.
No, I get tired of her trying to put her in cute roles.
Her face just kills me. It's like it's her nose, and I just want to punch it in a little bit.
She should gain some weight, soften it all up.
Yeah,
soft is the key.
It's like she has a gorgeous
her.
body. She has a gorgeous body.
She's
like
great
if
actress.
you've seen her, she has a gorgeous
But
body.
she doesn't have sex
I mean,
appeal.
and I loved her on 13 Going on 30. I mean, I love her snooty, snark, bitch attitude that she gives. But she is just not.
Arrested Development. She was great in that.
Actually, she got me there.
As Kitty,
I was ready to take her home then.
That's the last time you'll ever see these. Oh god, that was funny.
I was surprised. Yeah, she pulled me in with that character.
But I mean, between her and Wasp, or whoever you want to call her, for me, she's Kate. She'll always be Kate.
Yeah.
I loved her better. I think she was gorgeous. I loved her in the role. I think, and when I what really made her sexy to me is how she was kicking ass.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
When she was training, I was like, you get it, girl. Damn.
Yeah, she was badass.
I would have been totally down for that jump up in the air and wrap your legs around my neck thing and bring me down to the. I would have.
The flying triangle.
Oh yeah, I would have.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I
would
would've
have
been a flying
very
triangle
very
at that
comfortable
point.
in that position if she threw it on you.
Yeah, your face is in her crotch. Why not?
So much for being subtle.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that kills subtlety now.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about
The plot.
let's talk about it. You want to jump it off?
I just wanted to say that finally, in a Marvel movie, we got the first instance of it not being the end of the world.
Yeah.
And that was so refreshing. Yes, there was the Darren Cross will get this technology and he'll sell it, and the militaries in different countries could use it. But it wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a great movie. It wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy, Ronan the Accuser is going to destroy planets. It wasn't the Avengers, Ultron's going to take over the world. It was just a guy who was just going to get his hands on some tech. That's it. And we had a nice mixture of Scott's interpersonal problems with being Ant-Man, his personal problems with his family, and then finally a plot, in my opinion, that it wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't so ridiculously oversaturated. That I feel that's one of the best things about this movie is that
agree.
it wasn't Doomsday like every Avengers movie, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Like those were all like the world will end if we don't stop this.
Yeah, it's a little reminiscent of the Marvel Netflix Daredevil series.
Right.
Which I still need to watch.
It's like more street level base, more grounded.
Yeah.
Well, I do think that the end of the world it was what if they didn't stop it, eventually would get to that point.
But it wasn't going to happen tomorrow.
But it wasn't like if this doesn't get resolved tomorrow, the end is tomorrow. But Cap 2, Winter Soldier, I don't think the end of the world was right there on the cusp either.
I mean, with the helicarriers, they were in a...
Yeah.
I don't really consider that the end. I mean, a lot of people would die for sure, but I don't know.
Well, they were gonna murder millions of people. I feel like that's pretty.
That's pretty
insane.
close?
Yeah.
Pretty close to the
And
end?
the thing is that they were gonna murder millions of people like within a minute.
Yeah,
So
but millions is not. I mean, we're talking about the Earth, not just America. I mean, millions is in New York alone. And we still have the rest of the world. So the end of the world is what you're suggesting.
okay, then let me rephrase that.
Okay, so I'm
Maybe not the end of the world, but a ridiculous tragedy in minutes.
okay. Then
It was grounded. Are you telling me that if millions of people died on the planet,
Listen, you're gonna put me on the spot here. I'm gonna say something nobody's gonna like. Don't ask me that question.
Alright, well,
I mean, yes,
so
it's sad.
back to Marvel's Ant-Man.
I'm still here. That's my point. So anyway,
God damn it, Eddie. I love you.
did you, as far as the story, the plot goes, do you have anything you want to add to that, Kendall?
Well, yeah, I thought this was the first Marvel heist movie, and
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of heist movies.
Oh yeah, we'll
I love
talk
heist
after
movies.
this.
I mean, it wasn't straight
Right.
straight heist, but it had those plot points of a heist movie, and that really made it shine for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? Did you besides the sexiness?
Yeah, I liked it.
The plot. What'd you like about it?
I liked that he was a funny guy. I didn't know that that's how he was supposed to be. I just thought that was Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that they talked that his personal life was involved in it. I like that they talked about that.
His kids.
I cringed a lot in the movie when there was a lot of ants.
At moments they kind of look
I
like
get that
spiders
he's
to me.
Ant-Man, but I didn't know that he was gonna have armies of ants following him everywhere.
Yeah, that's one of his powers.
I didn't
He
know
controls
that.
ants.
I didn't know. There was ants crawling out of things that didn't need to happen.
He said it didn't need to happen.
Yeah, but let me ask you a
There's no
question.
movie.
How sad were you when Anthony died?
Anthony was pretty cute.
You,
That
you,
was-
that-
you were
that-
sad, weren't you?
Yeah.
So it's like a catch-22.
And I'm good with the ants. If there would have been roaches, then we would have had a problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's not Roach Man.
Yeah. Right.
No one would have liked
I
it.
don't think anybody would have watched Roach Man.
there was so many more ants than there needed to be.
All right. So you were talking about the abundance of ants, and that kind of bothered you. I didn't know if you said, and if there were roaches, and it would definitely be a problem. But the ants didn't really bother you.
No, I mean, well, you know what it is, because I mean, I'm a Marvel fan. I mean, I'm more of a Superman person. So, you know what? Don't even, because I think cha, you know this. But the,
I feel
but
scared.
because I, but because I have a little bit of background knowledge on
Right.
Ant-Man, you know, it was expected. If there weren't ants, I would have been pissed off. I'm like, okay, then what?
Why do you call her Ant-Man?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
I got you.
But I loved the storyline. The plot was great, and I'd have to say, like, the best part of it for me was, you know, that it wasn't like how he was saying. It's not like all just doom, doom, doom. But I like how they finally took an average guy, someone who's not perfect, someone who's not Captain America or the rich Tony Stark.
Right.
You know, this is, you know, basically someone from, you know, the lower end of the spectrum who is brilliant, who
Right.
has an education, but, you know,
He's made some bad choices.
yeah, you know, who's made bad choices. The dude went to jail. He's a felon.
Mm-hmm.
And that just shows, you know, that, you know, felons deserve a second chance.
Felons
too.
can be superheroes too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Suicide Squad.
So, I like that, you know.
Transition.
I felt like it gave it a little bit more of a realistic view.
They made it more relatable.
Exactly. Like, people, I mean, I'm not saying I'm a felon, but I'm saying, you know, people who are struggling or going through that, you know, of just being freshly out of jail, you can't get a job,
Can't
you're
see your
struggling,
kids.
can't see your kids, you know, backed up on child support.
Yeah.
You know, it's real life.
Right.
You know? And I felt like, you know, if you're a felon, you have something to relate to, that, you know, he became a superhero, even though becoming a superhero is not really realistic in this world.
No.
But, you know, still, you know, it was something positive.
It was some positive outcome. I'm gonna actually go with that. We were gonna talk about the giant ant, but we're gonna get back to the giant ant.
Leave it to Iris to take the serious out of to bring it into a movie.
Ah.
Even in a movie like Magic Mike,
What?
we could
I do.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
you guys were
I have
tearing
to
up.
read behind the lines. That's me. I like to take out the
Read
serious.
between the lines. Can I flip
What,
off?
no,
Am I allowed to
behind.
flip off the camera?
I mean, we say everything under the sun. You might as well. Yeah. So
It's all
I
three
mean,
lines, so you gotta read behind all
Cupcake
three
did
of
it
them.
on one of the movie reviews.
That's true.
Yeah, I think when we did the trailer talk on Terminator, that's all he did. It was like, "What do you think? You're not gonna watch it?" That's all he said. So, but on that note, one thing I think that's very, very important that I love is a good introduction. I thought this was a great introduction movie, and I know you said earlier it's like one of the better Marvel movies so far, and I agree. I actually, for me, the best out of all since the Marvel started this universe, the cinematic universe.
I'm interested to see where this is going.
For me, the best one is the Winter Soldier, Captain America. So I enjoyed that the most. All right, and so this one
It's a
I
close
actually.
second for me.
Well, I know what you guys are thinking with your hormones and stuff about Chris Pratt. So, because I know Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be up there with you.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy and Winter Soldier are close tied.
Winter Soldier for me. Okay, and then after Winter Soldier, I would actually throw Ant-Man and then Guardian of the Galaxy. So I want to know you guys top three of all, since the Marvel Cinematic Universe started. Okay, I'm going to start with you, sir. And since the Cinematic Universe started, your top three movies for Marvel.
I think I'm gonna have to put Ant-Man first now.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, I really liked it. None of the Thor movies will ever be on that list, in my
No.
opinion. The
They were
first
just
Cap,
fillers.
the first Cap was a period. It was an older period, so
I think
it
I
was
heard
good, but it just didn't jump out as well as the second one.
Right.
If we got a Falcon movie, that would be pretty badass.
They keep shitting on him.
Yeah, and it was awesome. We're gonna talk
We'll
about
talk about that scene, definitely.
Oh my god, that was fantastic. No, I think for me it's gonna be. I think Guardians and Winter Soldier are gonna be tied for second place with me.
Oh, you got tired. Nice.
And I think Ant-Man is gonna put itself in the first place.
Okay.
After watching it, I enjoyed everything about this movie. The casting, the direction that they took it. The Michael Pena, I believe his name is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He
super
was
funny.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like
Hilarious.
He's
he
so
was
funny.
he was funny yet not like stupid
Right.
stupid funny like
Yeah, he could kick ass. Let me tell you.
Hell yeah.
I
oh yeah, he
was
could
like,
punch.
what?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I call an unfortunate casualty in a very serious operation.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that was
No,
cool.
I think it's gonna be
And the
Ant-Man
waffles.
first for me. Oh yeah,
The waffles killed me. It's like, that's all you know how to cook?
Hey, but he was on point with them, right?
Yeah, no, they looked great.
Yeah,
but it's like, you get tired of
Much
waffles.
Yeah, a little too much whipped cream for me too. But I was still, the fact that he was making them, and then getting off track real quick though about his character, because I'm gonna go to you. But what I wanted to say about his character, what I love is that he was really hood, and he had the slang, and talking and everything. But he was also so well versed in everything that you didn't expect him to be in.
Oh, yeah.
The wine tasting,
Yep.
and he was talking about the art, and he was saying legit things, and I thought that was phenomenal because. It's like that with a lot of people. It's not always what you
think.
think it
Exactly.
is. There's more to him than that, and I thought that was great.
Yeah.
But your top three since the Marvel Cinematic Universe, please.
Let me see, my top 3. That's really difficult for me because I'm a little bit nicer
Okay, so
than our lovely Cody here.
mm-hmm.
But
Cody's
I have
lovely.
to say,
I'm fucking lovely.
let me see. Well, I did enjoy
Sorry.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Has to be one of the top ones for me.
All right.
And I'd have to say the only reason why I loved it so much is because I really love Groot. I am a Groot fanatic. I have my Groot figurines, my Groot t-shirt. I'm so down with the Groot.
Down with the groups.
So I have to say I enjoyed that one. Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy are at level for me, which was awesome. And I also liked the fact that, in Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord, he's human. Well, in a way. Even though we
in a
kind
way.
of find out his daddy's an alien anyway, but...
Right.
Still, I mean, it gives us some points for the human race. We're not all just pathetic.
It seems like you're like hopeful that one day one of us will really be a superhero.
What?
Even from the
Yes,
bottom
oh
of the
my
spectrum.
I'm working on it.
All right, so Guardians, and what are the other two?
The other two. Well, I mentioned Ant-Man.
Oh,
so
sorry.
They're at level. I have to say,
I feel like I know what your answer's gonna be.
my other one. I don't know. I don't really. I mean, out of all, I enjoyed all of them, but those were the two that really stuck out for me.
You're just gonna leave it at two?
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna have
can
to
do
leave it
that.
at 2 because I mean they're all
rest
good,
of
but I'm
them were-
not something that I'm like, oh god,
That stands
yes.
out to you when you put it
Ugh.
on a list. Okay.
Like like a heroin addict. I need it. No.
All right. How about you, Alyssa?
I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is that-
I feel like that's
Okay.
unanimous. Everyone really liked that.
But is that your number one?
I would say Ant-Man would be my number one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a different movie for me than the usual ones. And I like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I like Winter Soldier. I like it better than the first one. The Thor movies, even though I like Thor, the Thor movies aren't that
They were
good.
they were a little flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have to change something now that I just thought about. Once we get done to that, I'll bring it up.
Okay,
but-
no problem. Well, let's. Are you done with your thoughts, or?
Yeah, I like the first Iron Man movie.
I liked it too.
The first one is my favorite.
There's a lot
I
of
don't
them out there
the
I
third
like.
one.
I don't to get anybody confused. If
Yeah.
you're not on my top 3, doesn't mean I didn't like you. You just
Yeah.
weren't.
You are
Exactly.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I would have Winter Soldier or Iron Man as my third one.
you want to make it a tie? Cody made a tie,
Sure,
which
I'll
he
make it a
may
tie.
be changing now, but
Yeah,
we'll
I am.
find out.
Ew.
So you have Ant-Man as number 1,
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy.
and Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you tied Iron Man and
Winter Soldier.
the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about you, Kendall? You're
My first one, definitely Ant-Man. This movie really
Good job,
impressed me.
Ant-Man.
yeah, Ant-Man across the board.
In
That's
this
awesome.
time, we're getting so many different superhero movies. They're throwing out something different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's good that they don't make things stale. So this one's definitely number 1. Number 2, it'll probably have to be Guardians, because I thought it was really funny. I guess the funnier the movie, the better it's probably going to be in my eyes.
If you can mix a level of serious and funny,
Yeah.
in a proper
Yeah.
in a
Yeah,
proper
exactly.
Good
mixture,
tone
you get a
without
fantastic
being
balance.
too much comedy or too much adventure.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And third, I'd have to go with Iron Man 1, because that's the movie that started it.
Yeah.
Just Kickstarter. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
I was a big Iron Man fan as
Yeah.
a kid, so finally seeing that movie come up on the big screen, I remember it
Oh,
is
I was
great.
flexing
Really
the whole
great.
time watching that
Out
movie.
of all the movies, I mean, I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but like, the character of the Collector.
Yeah.
He's been mentioned a couple times, and it's like I want them to go in depth on the collector, who he is, where he started from, why did he start the
I feel
collection.
like
I know exactly what you should read,
But
because
we
I
should-
actually just read into that a couple
Well, no,
weeks
not
ago.
that I haven't
Oh, in
read.
the movie.
And I would like a movie.
Well,
I feel like-
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So we're gonna get this movie because it looks like some demon's about to take over the set. First off, you wanted to revise your list on the Marvel Cinematic top 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop Winter Soldier as number 3. I'm gonna put something that's gonna be a little unorthodox in, but for some movies, it can be a good movie, and some movies can be a not so good movie. But one scene can skyrocket that movie.
Very true.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield. It was a good movie. I liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. He was a little bit too cool to play Peter Parker, but it looked like they were going a little bit for more the Ultimate Universe than they were, but that's okay. But there's one scene in that movie that skyrockets that movie to the top of my list, and that is the death of Gwen Stacy.
Yeah?
Because that scene was so perfect and so drawn to detail in the comic books. Emma Stone is wearing the exact same outfit that Gwen Stacy is wearing in the original comics when she dies.
Okay.
At the end, or after she dies, you see the clock tower, and the time of the tower is the issue that Gwen Stacy died in.
Very
Oh,
nice.
wow, I didn't notice
yeah.
that.
And
I noticed the
I have
outfit.
goosebumps.
Every time I watch that scene, when he's frantically trying to like save her life, and he webs, and that web hand comes out, they slow down the time in that scene, and the web hand goes out, and it finally grabs her, and then it just jolt, and she's gone. And
Right.
I actually have goosebumps right now talking about it.
Right now.
When I watched it for the first time, when the
Kinetic energy.
movie
Let's just
came
touch
out,
each other and send the goosebumps around. Sorry.
when the movie came out, I cried when I watched that.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I was on the verge of my chair, and I was crying. I didn't have a single tear. I was full force. I was like,
It's okay.
Like he just got whooped
Yeah.
by his mom.
It's
like,
okay.
Oh God.
it was absolutely beautiful.
It's okay.
So,
I
gotta-
cried when Bing Bong died. So
God damn it, Eddie. How is that similar?
just saying, you know.
But no, I gotta. So my list would be Ant-Man and Guardians tied for the first, and then I'm just put Amazing Spider-Man in there.
Well,
no, not tied for the first. Ant-Man was first, Guardians was second, and then Amazing Spider-Man 2.
So technically, you answered the question. So I have to be clear what I meant.
What?
I meant since
You meant the connected movies together?
yeah, since the Iron Man starting off this world that Marvel has control of is connected, which the next Spider-Man will be involved in.
Well, Spider-Man is Marvel, in my opinion. So, shut up.
So do you still want to?
Yeah, I'm keeping it. You can't make me.
Okay, all
you
right.
can't make
So
me think what
we'll
you want
leave
me
it.
to think.
We'll leave it on there. Gwen Stacy's death is in the top 3. All right.
I quit.
So
Again.
we were talking about the collector. All right, who wants to kick that off? You guys were bringing it up.
I just
Well,
feel this is a
I
weird
was-
place to talk about
I
it.
mean, I know.
So
I'm
weird
so
place.
sorry. I
No,
brought
it's
it
okay.
up. It's just because I just kept noticing him like little cameos here and there, and I'm like, I want a collector's movie. I'm not trying to like start anything, a debate. I mean, we are here to talk about Ant-Man, but I mean, it
Let's
was
talk
just
about it. That's what we do
one
here.
thing that just caught my attention. That in some way the movies, not all of them, of course, but like some of them have gone back to the collector. Other than the fact that in Guardians of the Galaxy they practically destroy his entire collection, but I'd still like to see them, for those who don't know who he is or how he started or don't have a knowledge of him, to show the audience in a visual, because it's different when you're reading it than when you get to really see it.
Right.
It's more, everything is brought more to life. You notice different things. You compare and contrast, your own background knowledge to the movie if you want, if you do know stuff about it. But I wanted them to like give us, how did he start his collection, for those who are probably curious, like,
Yeah. And a lot of people, I feel like in the comic book series, the collector is like a celestial being.
yeah.
And in the movies, they just portray him as just a regular guy. Like he doesn't
That's
look.
mysterious and creepy.
Yeah, but
no, and that's not who he was. He was like freaking awesome.
There's a whole like group of these celestial beings that Thanos in the comic books goes out to hunt down the Infinity Stones. And the Collector isn't just like a regular guy. Like he trades people's lives. Like he has a very dark and different storyline that they aren't. So I kind of agree with you. They aren't really showing him to his full potential, although I just feel like that because he's so not known. I'm sweating, by the way, guys. That's why you keep seeing me, do this, is because I'm dripping on myself. But
dripping on myself.
I just feel like
that's sexy.
because I feel like he just isn't that well known of a character. I feel like Marvel's never gonna give him the spotlight that they could.
Yeah, and because he is part of the, the celestial beings within the comic book series, I felt like they didn't give him enough credit in his cameos. Like in Guardians of the Galaxy, where they destroy his collection, with the real Collector, that couldn't have happened. This dude really kicks ass, like he's freaking awesome. Like, I'm not gonna say he's like a bad guy, but he's not a good guy either. He's like
he's only interested in his collection. And that's it.
It's like he's neutral territory.
So you would put him on that list of DFW, don't fuck with?
Yeah,
good or bad?
Like, like that whole destruction of his collection, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, y'all would have died.
Speaking of celestial beings, in that scene in Ant-Man, when he goes between the molecules and he enters, I forget what it's called.
Quantum reality.
Quantum reality. Do you believe that there's a scene where everything is kind of trippy and you kind of see something? Do you think that's a celestial being, eternity, to be exact? Because he kept kind of repeating eternity while he was in there, the flashback.
It could be. I mean, that's an interesting thing to think about, but I don't think Marvel was really going for that.
Or it could just be a coincidence. I mean, I'm neutral. I mean, I didn't notice that. And I mean, you kind of have me thinking now, but then at the same time, it could have just been, like, okay, we got to show a scene where things are getting crazy, and he's possibly gonna be fucked. So
he's possibly gonna be fucked. Well, I have to say, I didn't go to that particular character, but I did think that there was more to it than what they believe. Of course, like obviously he came back and they didn't think that was possible, and he's still in his right mind. So I was wondering if there was some kind of Easter egg in that moment as well. I actually watched that scene 3 times. I watched it on Thursday, I watched it Friday, I watched it Saturday morning, and the movie itself. Yeah. So I the more I watched it, the more I was wondering if there was more to it than that, especially when the possibility now that since you don't die, you just keep shrinking for eternity. Wasp's mom, I mean,
I think they're gonna come back to that at some point.
Yeah, so I was wondering if there was more to it, and maybe maybe like, and now that you say that could be interesting. Maybe there is a character or a celestial being within that could keep her around or something, or even help her come back. But
I mean, because if they find the bomb wherever it went off, she's stuck on that bomb. Within those molecules.
Within those molecules.
Yeah, she's
so
stuck
now we're talking
on
about
that
stuff
thing,
I don't know about.
So it's like if they go back and
anymore.
they try to find her, if they find exactly where he dropped that weapon, he might be able to find her. And if he does it like the same way Ant-Man did, where he used a little
the disc
to force himself to grow
make
back,
things big,
he might be able to still be able to go back.
That was a genius move, by the way.
I honestly, even though he tells Dr. Pym, "Oh, I don't remember nothing."
Oh no, I didn't buy it.
I don't believe that crap. You don't remember nothing. You a damn liar.
I don't buy it.
Woo.
I think.
Okay, because if you didn't remember nothing, because if you didn't remember nothing, how would you have had the power, the knowledge to put the disc in and get yourself together?
He had to be aware
panic. You
in order
had
to
to
do
be
that.
aware.
Yeah.
I think that the
in order
reason
to do
that I think the reason that he said that he didn't remember is if he had said he remembered, then Hank Pym would have constantly been forcing him to get back there trying to find his wife. And he didn't want to put Pym through that. So he just was like, I don't remember. I think it's pouring.
It is pouring.
Yeah. And it was so sunny earlier.
And there goes my daughter's birthday party. So anyway.
It's all your fault.
It's
all your fault
No. Hopefully it's not raining up where we live. Anyway.
But I think the main reason that they did that is because he didn't want him to be awake at night wondering, you know what I mean? Like,
but he's going to anyway. But he thought he was sparing
to a lesser
him.
degree.
Right? Yeah, he did spare him some agony on that one. That's awesome. Ant-Man versus Falcon fight. I want to start off by saying I like how they, reference the warehouse in upstate New York that used to be collecting dust, and they didn't realize it's the new Avengers facility. And then when he got out there, and I was so glad that we got the Falcon to actually be active in the movie, because I feel like they keep shitting on him, they keep crapping on him. It's not fair. And the fight scene was cool. One of my favorite parts of the movie. But
what was your issue?
my issue was there's only one moment. I mean, what's her name? Hope said early on, when we had months, it was okay, but now we only have days. So his training's only been a matter of days. And so when he comes up flying and pulls him into the flying triangle that she put him in, I was just a little bothered by it. I mean, in a matter of days, people don't come skilled in in MMA type or moves or grappling or jiu-jitsu type moves. So that was the only thing that...
He does have a background in prison, though. So
He did
I
do
Did you
hardcore.
really say prison gives him...
No, I said prison.
He has a background in prison, so now he's all of a sudden
But you see in the first scene of the movie that he
can
Paul
take a
Rudd's
hit.
not
He can
not opposed to fighting.
Yeah.
I didn't reference fighting.
And not to
I just
mention,
mentioned I referenced a skilled move that he pulled in a matter of
I
8
can
days.
jump up and hit someone with my crotch in the face.
If that's how you feel that move is pulled off, I'd like to see you try it. I guarantee you'll fail, because that is a skilled move in jiu-jitsu that pulled in
Will you
you.
let
It's a
me
submission.
do it to you?
I would gladly let you try it.
But you can't try and stop
I
me.
would, but he's fighting someone who is skilled enough to stop him. And even though I wouldn't try and stop you, I guarantee you would just flat out fail and fall on your face.
But you also have to remember in the scene where he's robbing Dr. Pym's house, that I can't remember what it's called, but that style of
Parkour.
there it goes. Thank you guys. Of jumping. I mean, you see he has some skill.
He has some agility, some skill.
in moving.
But
I mean, so it could contribute to helping him learn such a skilled move
in days,
at an advanced pace.
I agree with all of that at advanced pace, but we're talking days.
And remember, he also has the costume
Days.
on and that serum enhances his
Yeah, he
strength
does.
and ability.
His strength,
So,
yes.
like, if he was to take it off and then do it just naturally by himself, maybe I don't think it would have looked as awesome. But
Yeah, that is one
you
thing.
know,
is
like
the Ant-Man suit does give him abilities.
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm
to
saying,
not
you
to
know?
the not to the
Like,
extent.
I
Iron
don't
Man.
think it gives him
Tony Stark can't shoot
abilities.
shit out of his hand without
it
having
it
his
enhances
suit on.
whatever ability he has.
Yeah, but I mean, I can throw a football.
Yeah.
If you enhance that, I could kill someone with that football.
I thought it was only when he was.
But see what you
shrunken,
just said?
or-
You can throw a football. He couldn't do that before.
You don't know that, dude.
Yeah, they don't really.
That's why she was kicking his ass so
specify.
bad before. Yeah, no,
Dude,
everything doesn't have
but-
to be written out. It is specified in the fact that
My bad,
he
Cody.
cannot defend himself. She's kicking his ass before he starts getting good at it. So
Even-
that is the way of suggesting
that's
this
true.
is not his forte. He can't do it.
But if
and now in
I
a matter
was-
of days, he can.
If I was
agree
a
with you,
skilled fighter, I would still let Evangeline Lilly beat the shit out of me just to have that.
Well, at least it's somebody new instead of Alexandra.
And I mean,
Did that.
it doesn't really specify. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I didn't realize, but do they really specify an exact timeline? How do we know it wasn't like a month?
Because she
Because
said
she
that.
says it.
She
We
says it
only have
exactly.
days.
She said
Yeah.
we could take a chance on when we had months, but now we don't. We only have days, so we need to go now. And that was that was narrowing down their timeline
I mean,
on
days,
how much
days
time.
could be like 40. That's days.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on
but
now
I
to.
understand.
Yeah,
I
it's not-
understand.
it's different if
It
it's
doesn't.
like
I don't
you
know.
only
That's
have
okay.
3
I don't need
days,
people
you
to
know,
agree.
maybe
I
it's-
understand.
No,
everything
I
you're
do
saying.
see where as much as I bust your balls about it, I do see what you're saying. That is a pretty technical move to pull off. But I mean, I felt that in general that fight was very cool.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I still loved it. I
Yeah.
just 8 days or whatever days it was. All right, so
And then the other nods to because Ant-Man was an original Avenger.
Yes.
Yeah.
The nods where Scott Lang is just like, this sounds like something you should call the Avengers
Avengers
for.
4. I
Or
like that.
they're too busy dropping cities. Or yeah.
the Age of Ultron.
Yeah, that they referenced a lot of Marvel movies in this, but they
Yeah.
referenced them in different ways than they usually do. Instead of Thor or Captain America being serious, like remember the events in New York, Scott's like, yeah, just call the Avengers. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was
and how
perfect.
they referenced to Stark. They was like, I've been trying to keep this technology out of Stark's hands,
Yeah.
and then how Howard Stark is present in the beginning of the movie.
And Agent Carter, which you noticed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, because you watched the TV show. Do you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, but you
but
recognize it?
yeah, I knew it was there.
She was like, I'm just that good. Do you watch the TV series?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, they're all. I think it's great how they connect all of the TV shows
Yeah.
with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What were some other nods to?
Haley Atwell looked old. Jeez.
She's supposed to.
Yeah, it was 1989. What does the series take place in? When does the Captain America era?
World War II.
Yeah.
Okay, so
40s?
she's old. We'll just do the math like that. Yeah, so she's definitely old in 1989.
No ages.
Yeah, but she still can get it.
I
Yeah.
think those were most of the nods.
Wasn't it? There wasn't more.
There was a nod to
Yeah, there
Spider-Man.
was Spider-Man.
Oh, and yeah.
They referenced him. It wasn't more. It was more of a
Like a setup.
yeah.
How about Stan Lee?
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
actually
but he always does a cameo.
like,
Yeah,
Wait,
but that was
before
awesome.
you.
I
That
actually
was probably his
said
best
Stan
one.
Wow, I actually said out loud. I was like, wait a minute.
Where's Stan Lee?
And then like a minute afterwards, he showed up. I was like, okay.
Okay, yeah, that was so funny. I laugh every time I see that scene because he was like, "Yeah, crazy, stupid, fine," and he's voicing it just like him. And, I mean, everybody's doing it, but it's just funnier coming from Stan Lee because I believe that he would joke around like that for real. He just seems like the coolest person on the earth.
Yeah.
Very comical individual.
Yes. So, totally lost track.
Ratings?
Wh-
Yeah. You having fun? What's going on here? What are we doing?
It was another point. There was okay. We said we were going to talk about the. We weren't going to ask things you didn't like because I was the only one that had one, but we did that.
We talked about
then we
anything.
talked about the nods to all the other Marvel movies. I feel like we
shout
missed
outs.
one.
We
You
did.
guys
Dolphin
never.
fight.
You guys never talked about the giant ant. We
The
never got back to
giant ant.
And the Thomas the Train.
Oh my god.
How great was that
Funny
scene
though.
though?
It was
That was-
fantastic.
yeah.
It was the comedic relief. It was comedic relief genius, honestly.
Yeah.
Was I would
And then
have
when his daughter Cassie kept the ant as like a pet,
right?
Yeah.
that was awesome.
I was like,
That
oh,
was awesome.
when the guy saw her come out of the house and he was like, oh, that's a messed up looking dog.
I'm like, really? Let's use our head on that one.
I thought
But
that was too funny.
I loved the daughter in the whole movie, especially when she tells like the
Yeah.
fiance, "I hope you don't catch him."
Mhm.
Yeah,
she had the
was
swag.
one of the
I
she was one of the
was
first
like,
child
swag.
actors in a movie that I wasn't horribly disgusted with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very
was
good.
good.
She was cute, but she didn't hate her stepdad, but it was obvious who she wanted to be around. Her father knew her a lot better. Like when he gave her that present, he knew what his daughter
Yeah,
liked.
that crazy looking
That's
bunny thing.
horrible.
And she's like, "It's so ugly. I love it."
Even the stepdad was thinking like me, like you want to switch that out with something. She's like, no, I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah.
Because I was the same way, but he knows his daughter well, so that was perfect. for her.
I liked that girl. She was a good daughter.
She
for
was
him.
awesome, even though the mom was.
Very comical. Even though, yeah, the mother, I
A
just,
bird.
ugh. Yeah,
She's like a
like,
bird.
like that's how I just see her face, just like clawing at the dirt and digging out worms. And
I
shit.
like her.
It's just her nose that bothers me. I just want to punch it in.
You want to punch it in?
Like,
Okay.
yeah, like reconstructive surgery.
That's how it works.
That's one way to do it.
Her nose just drives me nuts.
So we're gonna rate it,
Smoking endos.
and everybody's on the 10 scale. So I'm gonna start with you, Kendall. Please give us your rating and tell us why.
I give the movie a 9. I thought the movie was really good. There was nothing I really disliked about it. It was funny. It had like heist vibes to it, and I love heist movies, so that was good. I wish they had explained the powers a little more. That's really the only thing I didn't really like too much about it, but it wasn't completely vague. So
Yeah.
overall, the movie was phenomenal.
Phenomenal. That's one of my favorite words. Alyssa,
Fantastical.
wait, are we keeping track? You keep track? What is it? You gave it a 9?
9.
Okay, you got this. The human calculator is here to save us from our horrible rating without him. All right. So,
Dismissed him.
Alyssa, please,
No
your
one missed
rating
me.
and why?
I give it an 8 out of 10. I don't know. I said I wouldn't. I mean, it is like maybe 8.5, maybe 8.5
Well, which is
out
it?
of 10. Maybe it's like 8.5/8 out of 10.
I need a number.
Yeah.
Stay with 8.5.
8.5.
Jesus.
Okay.
And why?
I liked it. I liked everything about it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was action packed. I thought it was serious. It spoke to my heart.
Ooh.
Everything had everything. I think I just didn't like that they were ants. I have an insect thing. I don't like insects. So that's probably the only
They
reason.
came off like creepy crawlers to you?
Yeah. I felt them on me.
The fire ants especially?
Yeah, like I couldn't watch the scenes. I had to look away.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man, you missed some good stuff. They were forming arcs. He was running across. He was riding them like a raft, like keep sweat. Yeah, it was awesome. You missed it.
I'm okay with it.
All right, so your rating, please, and why?
I'd have to.
have
I'm
to
giving
speak
it
up
a
because of the
10
rating.
out of 10. I loved it completely.
What?
It was freaking awesome.
We got
It was one of the
movie
best
like a 10 out of
Marvel
10?
movies I've ever seen
You
lately.
stole my
I mean,
thunder.
who knows
I wanted to be the first 10.
if you know who knows what they're gonna make in the future? That it may blow it out the water, but that's my top. I love me
Neither here nor
some
there.
Ant-Man.
All right. Cody, would you like to
I'm gonna have to
try
agree.
and pull that thunder back in?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 as well.
Woohoo!
There wasn't a single thing about this movie that I didn't like.
Not a single thing.
I know that there's probably some people out there that are gonna nitpick, but honestly, it was a beautiful mixture of funny and serious when it needed to be. It was fantastic design. I personally think the Yellow Jacket suit is one of the coolest designs in Marvel.
It's fantastic.
I think he looks so badass in that suit. The Ant-Man suit is really cool. It's a lot different than the comic book one, the older comic book one. The new one, obviously, is kind of similar. But I love the Ant-Man design. I think they did a great job with his powers of him controlling the ants, and the scenes where they did that were very cool. It was just an overall absolutely fantastic movie.
Awesome.
And if you don't watch it, you're less, in my opinion.
And you shouldn't have gotten this far if you hadn't.
Yeah. We always forget to do that one.
So for me, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I loved it. It's hard for me to give something 10 out of 10. Like I think you said that on one movie where you were close. But I give it a 9 out of 10. There was I loved everything about it. I loved the introduction to the character. I loved the fact that he,
Steal my thunder.
I didn't know that there was more than one Ant-Man, so I was pleasantly surprised that the way they did it. And then I found out, it's more accurate, so that made me love it even more. I love the comedic level. I love the everyday guy coming from the lower end of the spectrum. I love everything about it. I love the reference to all the other movies. Yeah, I love the way they gave us Falcon.
Yeah, we need to see a Falcon movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I would greatly appreciate that.
Credit,
Mhm.
because,
Or we see Falcon take over Captain America's role.
Dun, dun, dun. I mean, they do have that in the comics, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying in the movies, I think there's gonna come a time when they're gonna kill off Captain America and Falcon's gonna take over.
Kill him.
Yeah.
Oh.
that would be depressing.
Oh, that would be interesting. So I'm gonna have to look out for that.
So you gotta.
So what is our overall rating?
Go ahead, Iris. You just had to.
It's
take
a
my
9.
math
It's
out
a
of me.
9.3.
That's the highest movie.
That is the
score to
highest
date.
movie Lingo score to date. Oh, I forgot to mention, we also didn't have David with us. So David can be this one. Oh Snap a Cupcake, Nate, and Nicole. All right, so, if they were here, we would, of course, be able to add their ratings, but they can't speak to it, so unfortunately we can't add their numbers. So, but I think Ant-Man would have still been up there overall if we had everybody. This is
I
a
know
good
Nate
movie.
liked the movie.
This is definitely a good movie that I think
Yeah,
everybody
it's
would feel no matter what. So I do want to thank all of you guys that watch us, that have been following us, commenting. I want to give a shout out to my son, Eddie Janesh Lingo III.
Nice to meet you, Janesh.
Yes, I see you following us. I haven't talked to you in a while, but I'm looking forward to speaking to you again. Thank you for supporting us and show your friends. Also, a good friend out of mine from bbcradio.com that hosts the Aries Lounge talk show every Wednesday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. JS1 the Supplier, I see you commenting on all stuff, watching our videos. We greatly appreciate you. Keep showing the love. Yeah, it's raining, so I have to yell. Keep showing the love. Also, we're shooting here out of PPF in Davie, Florida. You want to plug that?
Past, present, future. Once again, it's just every time I come in here, they've got new stuff. There's literally a Chewbacca head on top of that shelf over there.
No.
But there's just, it's everything you want. You can come here and get the pop vinyls. You've got the action figures, the comic books. The statues, the manga, anything you guys are looking for. They have Magic tournaments here every Friday night if you guys are into the card scene. It's a really great place. Everyone here at this store is fantastic. They let us come in and film. They don't charge us. They're wonderful people. And honestly, you guys should check it out if you're in the area. Come in and maybe every Sunday morning we're usually filming here. So if you guys are really getting into it, maybe come out and say hi, meet us. That would be weird.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't mind either. For someone to walk up and be like, "Oh, we've been watching you and we want to actually meet you."
Yeah, we get our live audience
You
here.
sign my butt. I'd be like, dude,
What?
yeah,
I'd
I
be like,
guess.
Where's my Sharpie?
I'm sorry. You guys look at us like we're so weird. All right, so I was selfishly giving out shout outs. Anybody want to shout out anybody? Give props to anybody?
Hi, Mom.
Mom is a great supporter too. Thank you for watching our Movie Lingo Minute.
Does your mom watch these?
No, she can't. The language. So why are
Oh,
we
yeah.
shouting her out? Tell her
Yeah.
to watch this minute. Like, we'll tell you exactly when to.
Yeah, you can actually
Click on it.
send someone a link on YouTube from
That's
a
right.
specific minute.
Specific. We'll do that.
So you can just do
That's
that.
awesome.
Don't rewind, mother.
Don't know why.
Giving a shout out to my dad who drives with me here and sits in the car
He's still
the
there
whole
now?
time.
He's still out there?
And he won't come inside.
Yeah, it's not like we told him he couldn't. We should definitely
He
specify.
just doesn't like the fact that he'll fall asleep and he doesn't want everybody seeing him with his mouth open and head back, bobblehead, just like one of these little pop vines.
Oh, she killed Ant-Man. Oh my
I
god.
cannot believe what just happened.
But yeah, so shout out to my dad sitting in the car right now.
Shout out to Dad.
I want to give a shout out to LeBron James.
Damn it.
I watched Trainwreck this weekend, and you were probably the funniest part of that movie. I don't know what that says about you or the movie, but you keep doing what you're doing, LeBron. Come back to Miami.
No, Cleveland is great for the whole family.
No.
On that note, thank you for watching another Movie Lingo discussion on Ant-Man, Marvel's Ant-Man. Let me say that. I'm Eddie Lingo.
I'm Kendall.
I'm Alyssa Jansen.
I'm Iris.
I'm LeBron James.
And he's also Ant-Man.
I'm LeBron James's Ant-Man.
And we'll see you guys in the next discussion.
I'm Ant-Man.